I said Ethereum will never go over $4,000 again. Come back to this tweet in 12 months. And today, Ethereum is over $4,000, guys. I was wrong. I got wrecked. I'll hold my hands up and say I didn't see this coming at the time. So back in, I think I posted, when did I post this? I posted this January the 23rd, 2025. I was shorting, guys, right? You know I was shorting back in January, and it paid off, right? We were short a few different assets. We're short Ethereum, short Sui, short Solana, 21st of January 2025. And I didn't know if it was going to come back, and it did come down 60%, all right? It came down so much. I think Solana came down so much. I think Solana, let's actually have a quick look at Solana. I think it was like $300 or $250. So we started short in January. Look at this. We started shorting here, guys. Like, we started shorting this peak. 21st of January, $253. And it came down into the 90s. It came down into the 90s, and it's still not up at this level. So that was a phenomenal short. Like, I will say, we had a bit of luck there, right? Shorting the top of these local tops is almost impossible, because look at these wicks. Like, they pumped it, they wicked it, they pumped it, they wicked it, they pumped it, and we really nailed those shorts. And what happened then? Because I said it will never go over $4,000. Big statement. Now, a lot of things have changed for Ethereum with Tom Lee, with some of the partnerships with Robinhood, with eToro. We're going to talk about it and my new strategy, what I'm doing now and what we've been doing. So obviously I took profits on my short positions. You probably saw on my X, I hate ETH. I started shorting when we had the sell signal. So as you guys know, we started shorting about 3.5K. But there's always a but, right? If the SMC bot gives me a buy signal, I will take a long position. Now, this bot has saved me so many times this cycle, because I have emotions into ETH, because I've spent so much money on gas fees, and it's slow and it's expensive, and I have this negative emotion towards it. But I cannot fade the bot, right? We're clearly in a down here. We started shorting, we made a lot of money shorting, and when you're in this down, sometimes it doesn't last forever, right? Things don't dump forever. They have pumps or relief rallies, and you don't know if you're going to get a relief rally or whether you're going to get this continuation pattern like this, right? Which makes it sometimes difficult to trade. But I said, if we get a buy signal from the SMC bot, I will take a long position, right? I will open a long. Even though I hate Ethereum, I will literally follow the charts. And sometimes you'll see the news on the charts before the events happen in the news, right? So we saw the partnerships with Arbitrum and Robinhood come only in June, right? But the price actually started to shift here back in April. The price started to shift. The SMC bot gave us a bottom signal. So you see this bright green here where it says uptrend. It flashed bright green, which usually means that it's kind of bottoming out. And then we had the buy signals from the SMC bot. So where I posted on the Twitter, this red line here is this red line here. And I said, well, if we get buy signals, and they started to flash up buy, and we took longs, right? And I took profits on those longs, and then we had another buy signal here, and I took some more longs, and I took profit on those longs, and I actually shorted here. I actually ended up shorting here, this pullback. We've played some of these moves really well, but you also need a bit of luck, right? Because this wasn't guaranteed, this pullback, but we had a sell signal from the SMC bot on the 4-hourly time frame, because we're looking at the daily right now. But the 4-hourly, we had a massive pump, and usually we'll have some sort of a correction at least, and we made some gains on that short. And now we're breaking to the upside. I will say, guys, I also bought some spot. So around $3,000 when we broke this resistance here, I did buy some spot Ethereum. So I did buy around 3,000. If that doubles, I'm happy. If I make 100% profit on that spot, I'm happy, and ETH would have to go to 6K to hit that target, and I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. I'm not going to lie, but if we hit that target, even 100%, I'd probably be quite happy with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with Ethereum right now. I don't know if I'm going to have some spot allocation because it's not even hit an all-time high yet, and we've got a lot of things that have changed, and I don't know if I'm going to keep a small moon bag, and I don't know if I'm going to sell it all and wait for a correction, because I'll do a deeper video on that, guys, because this was pretty much almost at the bear market low, right? So we've literally almost came down to the bear market low. It's like if we go into another bear market with all this new adoption, how low is it going to go? It's probably not going to come below $1,500, especially if we start to push 5,000-6,000, right? Because you're not going to expect a 70, 80%, 90% correction on Ethereum with all of the new treasuries and the new adoption, right? So the main fundamental driving force behind this has pretty much been Tom Lee, right? Ethereum needed that Michael Saylor. It didn't really have that Michael Saylor. There was no spokesperson. And if you know Tom Lee, and he's been around for a long time, a lot of people follow him. A lot of institutional clients follow him. He has a lot of institutional clients too. He's been right about quite a lot of things. He's been wrong about quite a lot of things too, but he's also been quite right. He's very bullish a lot of the time. So I will say that he's pretty much bullish a lot of the time, even when the market's pulling back. But a lot of people respect him. He's a strong voice in the space, and he's saying that Ethereum is going to 16,000. Now, obviously, bear in mind where we are in this circle, guys. Right, we're not on the start of a bull run, and these are the same sort of headlines that you'll see going into the end of the market. Same thing happened last cycle. Everyone said Ethereum's going to 10,000. It's going to 10,000, and they all held it down, and ended up making no gain. So, very, very important. Is it possible? Yes, look, anything's possible, but in this space, I mean, that market cap would be absolutely huge in this current market. So let's just have a quick listen. I'm not going to play it all, but let's have a quick listen what he's saying.
That would value Ethereum today at around 16,000, and it's currently 3,700.
Let's talk about Ethereum. Why is it something you need to hold in your portfolio?
Well, to me, Ethereum's having its Bitcoin 2017 moment again. And to give perspective, in 2017, Bitcoin was under 1,000, but that was the year when Wall Street discovered that the narrative of Bitcoin is digital gold, and Bitcoin has gone to 120,000 now, so 120 times increase. In 2025, a couple things are happening around Ethereum. The first is the Genius Act is now making stable coins kind of green-lighted, which is the ChatGPT moment for crypto, but it needs a smart contract, so it doesn't work on Bitcoin. The second is the SEC is pushing forward with Project Crypto, which is actually asking Wall Street to move the entire financial system onto the blockchain. Ethereum is the preferred choice for Wall Street because it's had zero downtime since inception, matching what the banks want, 100% uptime. It's also the most legally compliant and secure blockchain because it's recognized in the US, and it's the second largest blockchain. And the third is almost all of it is taking place on Ethereum. JP Morgan's building their stablecoin on Ethereum. Robinhood is tokenizing on Ethereum. The custody banks are doing it on Ethereum. So it's
so lots of key points there, some things he talks about. One of them we're going to break down because I know exactly what he's doing, and it's a pitch to retail. So loads of things changed for Ethereum. We had the Robinhood came out and said they're going to tokenize assets. This was massive, guys. This was one of the reasons I decided to buy some spot Ethereum, about 3,000. This is huge, and a lot of people have been fudding this. Even some top channels fudded this, but this opens the doors to trillions of dollars of new money, not just money that's sidelined, but new money into the market. And also I said, Robinhood will take the entire market now unless the competition starts to jump on board. So the competition are now going to get on board because Robinhood are going to have exclusive, assets that were previously private. And they're going to take all the customers, right? If you're an exchange and you've got all of these exclusive assets that you can only get on that exchange, people are going to come and open up with you. So a lot of other companies have now jumped on board, and even eToro have started to announce that they're going to launch tokenized US stocks on the Ethereum blockchain. aiming for 24/7 trading and DeFi compatibility. So this is opening up the doors as well to a new avenue, right? Because the markets close at the weekend, and a lot of traders actually want to trade 24/7, and that's going to give them access to that. So huge changes to the ecosystem. Trillions and trillions of dollars is going to come into the market. I'll do another video on why that's huge for stocks as well, guys, because I think we're gonna see in the bear market, after the next bear market, I think we're going to see one of the biggest stock rallies as well because of the new money that's able to flood into tokenized stocks. Countries are now going to be able to, people in countries that have previously had difficulties accessing the US stock market are now going to have access through some of these platforms. So yeah. Did you notice there? So we've got the banks, right? The banks are going to have to buy Ethereum if they want to if they want to secure the network. They're probably going to buy Ethereum and stake it, right? Because you're not going to want other countries having most of the POS done on Ethereum. So we've got the banks. Obviously, the banks are probably going to have to buy anyway as well, just to get on board in case, this really does rally and they miss out. Don't forget, the banks have an opportunity to buy Ethereum now, whereas previously they didn't have a chance to buy Bitcoin. The stablecoin system, so obviously Ethereum has now been selected as the blockchain for stablecoins, and it's kind of cemented itself there. Treasuries, loads of treasury companies are accumulating ETH, and we're seeing it become a real trend with treasury companies. And Tom Lee, right, it really needed a face and a marketing platform, and it didn't really have that. Now, if you look at how often Tom Lee is on CNBC, he's on there so much, right? So now they've got this marketing platform, and Tom Lee is on there it feels like every other day, talking about Ethereum's going to 16K, Ethereum's going to 16K. He's very smart. Did you hear what he said about Bitcoin? He said Ethereum is having its Bitcoin moment, and he said, I would compare it to when Bitcoin was 1K. And then he said, now obviously Bitcoin is 123K. This is almost like a pitch to retail. This is how retail sort of understand, well, a lot of basic retail understand investing and opportunities, right? Oh, Bitcoin was 1K, that's 123x. And he's saying that Ethereum is having its 1K Bitcoin moment, right? And I don't think they quite understand the market caps. I think they more look at price, they look at timing, they look at opportunity, how long Ethereum's been around. And the market cap of Ethereum is 507 billion, right? It's not a small market cap. If it 2x's from here, it's $1 trillion market cap. Okay, that's just a 2x. So that puts Ethereum at around $8,400. It's $1 trillion market cap, which is what? Almost half of Bitcoin's market cap. And I'm going to speculate that Ethereum is not going to flip Bitcoin anytime soon. So, that kind of comparison saying that, it's now 123x. Bitcoin at 1K, the market cap was what? Tiny compared to it's over, 2.5 trillion now. Tiny market cap. So you can't even compare these two right now. Ethereum is actually not far away from Bitcoin's market cap, right? It's what? A 4x or 5x away from Bitcoin's market cap. So it's actually in size quite large. For what it is, it's actually quite large. Considering it's not even at all-time highs yet, the market cap is quite large. And in my opinion, for Ethereum to grow, Bitcoin needs to grow too. I don't think Ethereum is going to go up to $2 trillion and Bitcoin's going to come down to $2 trillion. I don't think we're going to see the Bitcoin market cap and the Ethereum market cap around the same sort of levels. Personally, that's just my opinion. So yeah, where am I now? Well, I'm just trading, guys, right? I do wish I'd have held my longs open down here. I took some massive longs. Like I think I put like 15 grand on high leverage down here, and it would have been hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it also could have done this, right? I could have taken a long and it could have done this. And, it's all about, for me personally, it's about slow and steady wins the race. So if I'm up 20 grand, 30 grand, I'm going to take some profits off the table and look for a new entry, right? And, took another long, and I took some more profits. I took a short, I took another long. I'm just taking little trades here and there, and you know, nobody knows how high this is going to go. Nobody knows how long it's going to last. The SMC bot is going to help us, and you know what? I might even just ride my Ethereum long and some of my longs until we get the sell signal from the SMC bot, because you know the SMC bot's going to trend up like this, and more often than not, when you get these buy signals, it comes back to the SMC, and you know it almost came back here, but it got front run, right? That's how much interest there was. How feeble was this pullback? Because you know I was looking for us to return to this SMC daily and touch it, or at least touch it. Sometimes you know even go through it. But we got front run, which showed that there was huge interest, and a lot of whales didn't want to miss the boat on this. And you know we're now shooting to the upside. We are also breaking out of this key resistance on Ethereum here, guys. We are breaking through this key resistance that's been resistant since March 24, when we first took profits, when we first took our first profits off the table. And yeah, the weekly, we still have a weekly buy, we still have a daily buy. Usually what happens when you finally break through these resistances, believe it or not, more people actually buy up here. So whales and stuff start buying out here, because you've been in this resistance for so long that usually you will actually start to skyrocket here, right? It's like a coil. It's been building up and building up for so long. And you know we've finally broken out. There is also the argument that we come back and have a weekly retest of this resistance and then push to the upside, but it doesn't always have to happen, right? We can come up here and we can form a bull flag, and then we can take another leg to the upside. Obviously, Tom Lee's predictions are going to help. If everyone thinks that the price is going to go to 16,000, you know, a lot of them will have like a plan to take profits at 10,000 or 12,000, etc. So he's doing very well marketing it. I can't lie. He's doing very, very well marketing it. And, you know, we could see a lot more upside. The things that do worry me a little bit about this is that the RSI is so overbought. And every time the RSI has been overbought, we have come to the downside, right? RSI overbought here. We came to the downside, and the RSI is overbought. So we are trying to move up. We are trying to move up with little steam behind us because of the RSI. Now, the RSI doesn't always have to be accurate. Look, the RSI could just do this for ages. Like, it doesn't have to. It kind of done a similar thing here, right? Yeah, it kind of done a similar thing here. It was overbought, and it still continued to push to the upside. I will say the candles haven't turned green yet. So usually what happens is when these start to turn green, you usually get some sort of a pullback. You see here where it went green and then it went yellow and then back into grey. So now we're looking for candles of green at least before potentially we have to. I would get worried. So ideally in a dream world we'll have grey, green, and then we'll see a yellow and then some sort of a pullback potentially. So yeah, those don't always play out as well, but yeah, it's really useful. It's a really useful signal. How are we on the daily? I think on the daily we are green. Yeah, so on the daily we are green, but we've only just turned green. We've only started our first green candle, and they can sort of last for quite a while before you flip into these blues. But on the weekly, it's still grey. Where do you think Ethereum is going? How high do you think it's going to go? Do you think we're going to continue to push to the upside? If Ethereum pushes up, it's going to need Bitcoin to move up as well, right? And Bitcoin also looks hungry and potentially like it wants to see some more upside. I'll do a separate video on BTC because I have a crazy target on that. We got a strong buy alert, and I looked at the last time we got that buy alert and how much the price went up, and there is some confluence there. It takes us to an interesting level. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these videos and notifications. I'll try and keep you guys updated with what I'm doing. I'm long at the moment. I'm not going to lie, guys. I've been taking shorts and longs and shorts and longs. The market's been volatile. This is exactly what I love to trade, right? It's pumping, it's dumping, and you know, in general, I tend to short pumps and long dumps. And you know, we've had pump, dump, pump, dump, pump. This is what's great to trade, volatility. And I'm currently in longs. I've taken some profits off the table. You can see on my Bitcoin long, I've taken $8,526 profit. and it's still today, I think, around $11,000 in profit, which I've still got on the table. My margin is 5,900. I'm in a BTC long, 187%. Obviously, I took profits on my short as well, so I think I made around 8,000 shorting, and then we flipped to long. My Solana long, 162%. I took 2 longs, so I actually took profits on my first long. I took a long at 161. And I took profits on that, and the price came back and hit my stop loss at 161 and then pumped, obviously, as it does. And yeah, it's now 162% in profit. I took a very degen long on ETH, just kind of for fun. It broke the resistance. I didn't post this actually because it was too risky, and I don't really want to be posting extremely risky ones like this, because people potentially get wrecked. But I did take a degen long myself, and on 60x is stupid high leverage for Ethereum. But I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it and see. I've taken 25%. Sorry, I've taken 25% off this, and it's very hard to get this kind of leverage on Ethereum. So yeah, I'm gonna hold it. If Ethereum goes to 16,000. This would return hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I might just hold it for fun, YOLO. And my spot Ethereum, I'm probably going to hold into Q4. I'm just going to see how this Q4 thing plays out. It doesn't always happen, but yes, Q4, historically, we do have the final part of the bull run. I do worry about this fairy tale ending where we all sell together at the same time and we all make money. I do worry about it, but if we can get a lot of interest in Ethereum and BTC, and it's people like Tom Lee going on these retail channels, that's going to help us. Hey, maybe we can see this Q4 rally, and maybe Ethereum can go to 6, 7, 8K. I don't know. I wouldn't be holding it to 16K. Let's put it that way. I probably wouldn't even be holding it to 10K. But I'll be looking at my on-chain data. I'll be looking at all the signals. We've done pretty well taking profits in some of these. We took profits in March 24. So we took profits in March 24, and then we took profits again January 25. So both of these peaks, we nailed both of these peaks in the market. And, altcoins came down massively after that March peak. And, again, we had a huge crash, even worse than the March crash on Ethereum. So, look, am I going to time the third one? I'd like to. I don't know whether I'm going to hit it again. I am going to take a short again, guys, right? If we get the same sort of situations that we had in March 24 and January 25, extreme euphoria, extreme greed, everyone on socials is bullish, Tom Lee is going Bitcoin to a 16K, Cathie Wood came out and said Bitcoin's going to over 1 million in the next few years. If we get all of the signals that we had back in March and January 25, best believe I'm putting on a massive short, because even though I did short these, I didn't short them with enough. My longs have been actually bigger than the shorts I was taking back here. I didn't short them with enough. I probably could have used more leverage. I think I'd done 4x on Ethereum. It's crazy. I was taking very low risk trades. Hey, slow and steady wins the race, right? But I really want to get in with a nice short if we see all of those signs again. None of the information in this video is financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto is highly risky. You can lose all of your money investing in anything. So, of course, guys, always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't forget, like and subscribe on the video to stay up to date with the latest. If you want to join us, if you want to get the SMC bot in your own trading view, if you want to get these buy and sell alerts pop up in your own trading view, you add the bot, and then it will literally just give you the signal. So you literally type in the token you want to look at. So let's go and have a look at Aero, for example, and look at this, absolutely amazing signals on Aero lately. And yeah, it will literally just snap to the grid. So you type in the altcoin you want to look at, or the stock. It works on stocks as well. It works on currencies. I have got Aero as well, guys, by the way. It's in my portfolio. I think we got it. I don't know when we got it. I think shortly after this buy signal, or maybe this buy signal. So yeah, it snaps to grid. It works on all altcoins. Look at the volume on Aero. That's crazy. And yeah, I mean, look, I didn't take these trades personally. I was trading Ethereum and Solana and Bitcoin. But if I had have taken a long here, crazy. I could have took high leverage, crazy gains. I would have probably obviously taken profit here because I had a sell signal, so I've taken profit, and I would have flipped short, and then crazy gains, and then I got the buy signal, so I could have taken a long here, and then just crazy gains again. It's hard sometimes to look back at these charts because I'm like, man, I should have if I'd have just copied this SMC bot with 10K, with 10K on some leverage, that's 100K. And then if I compounded that, 100K, that's a few 100K, and that's 500,000 just in 3 moves from 10K. It's hard to look at this. It really is sometimes hard to go back, but you can't trade everything is the problem, right? You can't trade 100 altcoins. You're getting these good signals on Solana. You're getting these good signals on Ethereum. But yeah, it's hard to trade these because altcoins move so much. They move so much that you gain so much in a very short amount of time. If you want to join us, you want to get involved, head over to my X and then type in this, and that will take you to my X. So type this into Twitter, and then click this link, and then you'll see a link to join the Patreon. And once you get in the Patreon, you can join our Discord where you can see all of the trades that I'm taking. I'm not really building a portfolio until the bear market. As you guys know, I like to really build portfolios in the bear market and just take profits in the bull run. I don't really do too much portfolio building when you're coming to the end of a bull run. That's how most people lose. So you'll see my old portfolio, but most of it's been taking profits. I think we're still up even today on a lot of the stuff. 10x, 15x. I think Casper and Render are still massively up. But I've taken profits off the table from a lot of them. I have a moon bag left for Q4 to see if we see this infamous Q4 rally. But yeah, I've taken a lot of profits. But I can't wait to build a new portfolio in the bear market, because for me personally, that's where all of my gains, most of my gains have been made, is buying Cardano. Last cycle, I bought ADA, BNB, mainly. These were my main plays: ADA, BNB, and Matic in the bear market, and it changed my life. And this cycle, it was Sol, Render, Casper. And I want them free, Sol, Render, Casper. I want them free that I'm super confident on to go heavy into, because I was putting when I look back at the amounts I was putting into this now, it's laughable, right? At the time, it was a lot of money to me. I didn't really have much money. I was working multiple jobs just to try and buy crypto. And they're not. This cycle, I had some better money. This cycle, and it really leveled me up. And next cycle, I've got a lot of money to put into. I love to have 3 main plays that I'm super confident on. And I think I've already got them, to be honest. I think you probably already know what a lot of them are if you've been watching the channel. So yeah, I'm super excited to build a portfolio. Of course, I'm still going to have my risky bags. I mean, look, our main meme coin play this cycle was Pepe, and it done over a 10x, which is all I wanted to make. If I can turn 10K into 100K on a high-risk play, happy days. That's all I really want to achieve. And, Pepe done 10X, and that was the main meme coin play. We made a lot on others. I think I done 50X. I made a 50X on Brett. I made 100X here and there. But I will still have a risky portfolio. I think what I'm going to do actually in the bear market, because I know a lot of you are trading with different amounts, I'm going to personally, for me, create different portfolio sizes. So I'll do a 1K portfolio. If I only had 1K, what I'd buy, 5K, what I would buy, 10K, what I would buy, and 100K, what I would buy, maybe even $1 million, because I know we've got some whales in our Discord as well, so I'll probably do $1 million. I'll really go deep into all different sizes of portfolio, because my portfolio is going to change now because I have more capital to deploy, but I'm aware that some people have some lesser amounts. I'll also cover it on YouTube eventually as well, guys. Obviously, it's going to be delayed on YouTube. It's going to be slightly later, but I'll cover it eventually. So really excited for the bear market. We've also hired a professional leverage trader who's been absolutely killing it. He's been giving, over here you see professional leverage trader, he's been giving great signals, and I think he's up every month. I think he's been with us for 5 months now, and I think he's won every single month, which is phenomenal. It's very hard to do, especially in this market that's been extremely volatile. And I'm taking a lot of his trades, and they're paying off. The BTC long recently that I took was based on him. I took profits on my short position, and I was planning to flip into a long, but he nailed it with the timing, and I flipped into a BTC long, I think around 113,000. We also saw on chain that loads of smart money started to open up Bitcoin longs as well. So I actually increased my size on this, because it's not actually usual for me to put on a $13,000 trade, but we saw on chain loads of smart money started opening up Bitcoin longs around that sort of price. So that incentivized me to add to it. So yeah, between the on-chain data, between obviously the skills I've picked up myself and the smart money and the pro trader we have in the Discord, we're doing pretty well. Look, are we going to win every trade? Absolutely not. But we are doing well, and I'm planning to expand this. I wanna have multiple professional leverage traders in the Discord. They are quite expensive, so I can't do that right now. But as the community grows, we grow, right? So I can hire more traders. And I'd like to have traders trading around the clocks. For example, he's giving trades that are in market times. I'd like traders that are in maybe on the other side of the world, maybe in Asia, so that we're getting trades all around the clock for wherever you are in the world in the group. And we're obviously tracking a lot of the smart money. I'm also in groups myself. I'm in lots of paid groups myself. I'm in Meet Kevin's group. I'm in Tom Lee's group. So I'm actually in Tom Lee's paid private group. And some of these fees are very expensive as well. So why am I in their groups? Well, look, more minds are better than one. And also I think it's important to know that it's important not to get too confident and think you know everything. And it's always important to check yourself, and it's also dangerous, because if you're confident on a trade and you go around and look at other people's opinions, you have to be able to also be confident in your own opinion and back it up with data, right? And I go back to the on-chain data, I'll go back to the pro leverage trader, I'll basically compare around, I'll look at everyone's information. And then I will also take into account how accurate they've been, right? Are they consistently accurate? Are they making long calls? Like, for example, Tom Lee is bullish a lot of the time. So, of course, he's going to do very well in a bull run, but he's not going to do so well in a bear market, right? So it's about knowing the groups that you're in, how they trade, what are they good at. For example, someone in my group said, you're phenomenal at sometimes timing some of these pivot points. And I back it up with data. And one of my weaknesses is sometimes I hold leverage trades too long, right? That's why I love this pro trader in the Discord, because he's like, I'm opening a long here, these are the reasons, and I'm like, I might take some profits on my short and open this long, and it's helped me out now. And it's about knowing your own strengths and knowing your own weaknesses. And I ideally would like to potentially just join even more groups, right? And I'm not talking about just any groups. I'm talking about I'm more interested in these kind of groups, institutional groups. I want to see how the institutions are thinking, because we're pretty much ingrained in crypto, right? We understand it more than a lot of these guys, but I want to know what the S&P. I want to know what they think about the stock market. I want to know what they think about the stock market being overbought and oversold. That kind of information is worth paying for. It's a few hundred. It's not cheap, this group. It's a few hundred a month. But the value that it generates for me personally, from my own perspective when I'm forming my opinions, is priceless. And I would love to be in 10 of these VC groups, and just like every day just compile all of the data and then form my own opinion and see if I've missed anything, or see if I'm wrong. It's really cool to have you guys on board with us, and I hope more of you join us. I know it's quite expensive. I did change the price, by the way, guys. So there is a cheaper package now, which is only $43. So it's not too expensive. If you want to join the other levels, it's going to be slightly more expensive. But at least for this price, you can see a lot of our calls, and you can see the pro traders calls and stuff as well. So yeah, if you want to get involved with us, head over to the X and click on my name here, and then click on the link at the top of my page. That's it for now, guys. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.